Hello, I am Miss Teller like it is. I hope everybody's doing good out there. I am doing good. I'm going to take one day at a time because that's all we can do as people. Take one day at a time. Today's video is going to be that the name of it is Some Things That Happen to Us and in Our Lives Are Beyond Our Control. Okay. And as you know, July 16th, my place burned down and I lost everything that I own, okay, or everything that I owned. But the grateful thing about it is I didn't lose my life. My daughter didn't lose her life, okay? But it is traumatic. It's traumatic because there are things, sentimental things that I cannot get back, like photos of my kids, special plaques of my son, and it's just many other things. And so it is a traumatic thing. And anytime anyone goes through losing anything that is of sentimental value, things that they've worked hard for, it is a traumatic experience. And sometimes it takes a minute for it to register to you that, hey, this is what really happened. Because, I remember all through the week, you all, I was like, couldn't wait till Friday. I was counting down for Friday. I was like, okay, I've worked hard. Friday is almost here. Um, after I come home, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to cook something and I'm going to relax. I'm just going to relax the whole weekend. I never dreamed that 12 something in the morning, I would be getting I would say a knock, but a beating at my door. And me and my daughter is coming down the hallway. We're thinking someone literally is trying to break in. And then I look out the window. I finally look out the window, and there it is, the maintenance man saying, "Get out, the building's on fire." Well, of course, when the building's on fire, you don't think about grabbing anything of value, okay? Because in all reality, you are the greatest of value, saving your life. But I did manage to get my purse. I managed to grab my keys. I managed to grab my cell phone, and I managed to grab my charger. And my daughter also, okay? But I know as I was sitting there in that car, me and my daughter, it did not register to me that the fire that started at the end of our building was going to actually go through the whole building. It didn't. And it was weird. It was like sitting there watching a movie. Like, it's like, is this really happening? And for me, it's like reality has been slowly hitting me. Like the day before yesterday, um, I woke up and I said, okay, I'm back in my clothes. I'm going home. And then I thought, oh, I don't have a home to go to. And then yesterday, me and my daughter was in the car and we had came from the store and I was going in the direction of where, I used to live. And my daughter said, Mom, where you going? I said, home. And she was like, no, Mom, remember our stuff caught on fire? And I was like, oh, yeah, right. you know so it's just when you lose something, and I know it's many people who have lost their homes, especially to like people who've lost their jobs and lost their jobs to the like their jobs because of the pandemic, and they've lost their homes and they've lost everything they own. I can sympathize with you. I can sympathize, even though my I lost my stuff through a fire. I can still sympathize and empathize with the traumatic emotions that you can go through. And I think the initial emotion is just shock and unbelief. Like, is this really happening? Is this really, really happening? And is this happening to me? You hear things happening to other people all the time, but it's like, is this happening to me? You know, and of course it has. But, my grandmother always said, she said, baby, she said, the strong survives, okay? And she says, the weak will perish. And so, I always remember that, and I'm not saying I don't grieve, because there are moments I do grieve. And like someone told me, they said, it's okay to grieve. You are human. You're going to grieve. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel some kind of way. And like I said, I've lost a lot of sentimental things that money cannot replace. So, I guess the whole point of me making this video is sometimes things happen to us that is beyond our control, but in the midst of the storm, we have to hold our heads up. It's okay to grieve, but do not allow your grieving to turn into depression. Do not let your grieving make you feel like there's no hope. Always know that no matter what's going on in your life, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And Miss Tell Like It Is, I'm telling you from experience, from what I'm going through. I'm not just talking. I'm telling you from what I am going through, from what I am experiencing. No matter what you go through, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So hold on. And one thing about it, I I love to encourage others, because in encouraging others, I encourage myself. You know, I get a blessing out of my personal testimony. And the things I talk about in my videos, it's not about glamour. It's not about this pretend 10 world. It's about real life and real life issues and things that people go through in real life. So, yes, I have my moments. I'm not going to lie. I have my moments. And it's okay for me to have my moments. And for anybody out there who's lost, your home or lost everything you own, it's okay for you to have your moments. But know one thing, if you know nothing else, that you're not alone and that you will get through this. And life is a test. Life is one big test. And it's not the things that happen to us that cause us to conquer all of the tragedy that has happened to us, but it's how we react to the things that happen to us, how we process it. Yes, it is human and normal to cry. It's normal to grieve. And trust me, Miss Tell Like It Is, I do have my grieving moments, okay? But at the same time, I have my moments where I'm like, oh, no, no, no. You're not going to you're not going to allow yourself to get depressed. You're not going to focus on the worst of this thing, but you're going to focus on the positive. And the positive is there's a new beginning coming. And anybody out there who has gone through any kind of loss, just know there is a new beginning coming. Hold your head up high, stay strong, and know that you're not alone. Saying that, I Miss Tell It Like It Is, and I told it like it is. Good night.